Over 2 decades ago, Dr. Iris Kai wrote me a recommendation for an up-and-coming international security agency. Alright. Sounds great. At the time, I was overjoyed just to be on track. Get into a growing field early, do good science while the fires of invention are still hot, then dip out with distinction before the coals go cold. But these days well, let's put it this way. The first time my name showed up as a footnote in a cybernetics textbook, I called my parents and invited my friends to dinner at my favorite restaurant. Half a year ago, when I got a write-up in the East Coast Medicine Review, I didn't even open the copy they sent me. So when Iris announced her retirement, I assumed that her annual was a little more advanced than my own. It was a nice party. She was surrounded by friends and coworkers, lauded by her peers and praised by her subordinates, and yet the whole time she looked hollow. Fear of retirement, I theorized. I couldn't have been further from the truth. Stop. The organization I've dedicated my life to has always been at the forefront of cybernetics. The bleeding edge, some would say. We took risks, but it was for the greater good, and we are grateful to every volunteer and veteran that assisted us. But now they're pushing all the wrong boundaries, taking science, my science, in a cruel new direction that I cannot abide. Because the fruits of my research are being used to experiment on children. I can't fathom how STOP got so far out of hand. A new program developed based on... But I can find out. I'm not powerless, and the architects behind these new programs aren't fools. If I can present a proper case against this, show them the pain hidden between the numbers and the suffering they are whitewashing over in pursuit of percentage points. I have hope that things can still be made right. But that hope is dwindling. I thought I granted peace to the world with my research. Maybe all I did was read the new mirror. Sorry for messaging with this hour. Couldn't sleep. Having second thoughts. No. My transfer's been already approved. Next Monday, I'm under the Youth Training and Development Initiative as a supervisor, but Iris, you've worked with STOP longer than I have. Can you tell me anything else about the YTDI? Youth Training and Development, sir. Nothing that'll help you sleep. Well, that's reassuring. I still can't believe this is happening. STOP's full of scientists, but not... Good scientists will follow the science wherever it leads, right? And I recall a brilliant researcher concluding years ago that the younger the patient, the better the cybernetic sync rate. That research was intended for STOP agents. Volunteers. Heroes, if you prefer. Not anyone under 18. Well, the higher-ups would beg to differ. They tell you that they're providing these trainees with an education and a guaranteed future. Worth an eye or an ear. I don't want this to be my legacy, Iris. Where's the greater good in grafting dangerous tech onto children? When STOP was founded, that good was clear. Back when the world was in turmoil, and cybernetics were getting slapped onto terrorists, and madmen in vet clinics and garages. STOP put an end to that. We put an end to that. And then, we kept going, so it wouldn't happen again. Like I said, not the best topic of conversation if you're looking to put your mind at ease. But do try to get some rest anyway, DJ. From the sounds of it, You have a long week ahead. I'll do my best. May 13th, 26. My honest first impression, this is beautiful. Natural light trickles through frosted glass, enveloping the courtyard below, in a warm, soft glow. From the bridge I'm on, I can even see green. Grass, flowers, trees. An oasis of natural beauty full of life, and full of laughing children. I can't help but wonder if I made a wrong turn. There aren't any stark surgical scrubs or hospital gowns, and the air smells clean, not disinfected. But inevitably, my eyes are drawn towards the towering column that pierces the building's center. It's a dark monument, one of few doors, no windows, and a very heavy shadow. My skin prickles. What purpose could...
Not lost already, are you?
My train of thought's grim path is cut short by a familiar, husky voice.
Angie, it's wonderful to see you again.
Same to you, Daedra.
As usual, Angie is formal, but I recognize the warmth in her words. It's been a long time since we've talked face to face. For sure. I didn't think we'd work together again. But not every career path's a straight line, right? No, definitely not. Happy as I am to be working with you, I was surprised to learn that you wanted to transfer here. I always thought of you as married to the craft of cybernetics and nothing else. I was gonna say squeamish. I suppose there's more to me than meets the eye. I suppose there is. I understand you're planning to write a case study on the work we're doing here at the YTDI. Funny. You've always been more interested in theory than application. Then again, you've always been a pioneer as well. I mean, it's a new program based on my research. Why wouldn't I observe it? Oh no, I think it's fantastic having you of all people here. Going out of your way to help us improve the YTDI. That's a dream come true for all of us. In fact, no. I don't want to get too deep into discussion on your first day. Your time is valuable, so how about I give you a tour? Oh, well, I did request one, but you don't have to. No, trust me. There's a lot here more than we could cover in one day. But we should be able to go over the basics. Places, permissions, practice standards, that sort of thing. And who better to help you find your footing than an old colleague? Alright. Where to first? Awesome. I'm not a professional tour guide, but I'd say the courtyard would be the best place to start. Lead the way. So that's why there's so much greenery. Of course, we want our trainees to be as healthy as possible, both physically and mentally. And while it might be hard to see the benefits of on an MRI, being around trees and plants really does do wonders for the brain. For instance, several observational studies have shown a strong correlation between urban green space and accelerant. No, Angie, I believe you. Actually, I think I feel it myself. We installed it all for the trainee's sake, but if it helps the staff stay sane as well, that's a nice bonus. That reminds me, you should see the classrooms too. Okay. So we'll take these stairs and go through these doors. Oh, after you, of course. And if we just go down this hallway. we're here. Bit of a walk, isn't it? Must be easy to get lost. I suppose. But you get used to it. Anyways, this is where the trainees get educated. Oh. And what does that involve? Well, we've got all the core essentials. Maths, literacy, self-defense, phys ed. Pardon? Physical education. No, I mean self-defense. Oh, don't make that face. It's not that serious. Gym mats and padded gloves and whatnot. At their age, the trainees couldn't hurt each other even if they tried. And do they ever try to hurt each other? The world's a dangerous place. Our trainees know that better than most their age. The earlier we teach them how to protect themselves, the better off they'll be. I suppose you're right. But it's not all schoolwork and drills. The trainees get to do fun stuff too. I mean, we passed an arts and crafts center just moments ago. You should see some of the stuff they make in there. We might have the next Mark Rothko, or Agnes Martin rats. I nod as if I know who those people are. Fine art never was a favorite subject of mine. Well, I'll have to check it out another time. Yeah, you watch. Maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. You want to observe a trainee for your case study, correct? Yes, that's right. Why do you ask? Well, we've got a class going on right now. Should be literacy at this time of day. You're suggesting I choose my case study subject right now. Could give you a much better idea of what we do, seeing how the trainees actually go about their day. Come on, look over here. Don't worry, they won't notice us. They're all preoccupied with writing exercise, it looks like. This is a classroom? I've been in medical libraries with more noise. Well behaved, aren't they? You can thank the core curriculum designers for that. Our trainees are showing a 34% increase in memory retention compared to a same age control group, short and long term. That's very impressive, isn't it? The bell could ring right now and they'd still be glued to their work. If this were any other education program, they'd all be fiddling with their fine liners, glaring at the clock, doodling in the margins. Like that child over there? Right, that one. He's a bit of an outlier. Statistically. Really. But I thought you could look at more. Well, it's not 100% effective. Sometimes you'll get stragglers. But we don't leave them behind. All they need is a little extra motivation. I don't like this, the sound of this. There. The teacher's already taken notice. He's taking him to the front of the classroom? Is he being yelled at? Yelled at? The teacher might be raising their voice. Do not defend being yelled. I know the difference. Oh. Hold on. Why are the other children going up to them? They didn't do anything wrong. Well, that's the extra motivation I was talking about. All new trainees get sorted into squadrons. Squadrons? Like soldiers? Like birds, I'd say. They're close-knit. We expect each squadron to fly roughly the same pace. So if one member underperforms, the entire group is made aware of it. I know it all looks a little inflexible, but they're better off learning these rules early. I'm not sure that... He smiled at me. Oh. They're supposed to stand perfectly still for a full 5 minutes, so that's... Might have to be focused. I've made my decision. Oh, good. So which training? I want that boy to be my subject. And why him specifically? I can't give a concrete answer. I suppose I'm going with my gut. That's not very scientific. Just go with it! Then why don't we call it an intuitive choice made by one of the world's leading cybernetics researchers? Right. But as I said, that particular trainee is something of a statistical outlier. Then taking a closer look at him should help us correct any inefficiencies in the program, no? I suppose I can't argue with that.
All right, D. Here's where his quarters are.
Thank you.
You're certain this is the one you want to use for your case study?
Again, I've made my decision, Angie.
Right. Right. Just wanted to confirm. Trading C0458?
Could you come here, please? I want to introduce you to someone. She's a visitor. One just for you.
Huh? A visitor?
Try to be quick, though. She's a very busy lady with a lot to get done today. Oh. Wait a minute. You're the lady I saw in class. Indeed she is. What's SF4174 doing behind you? She wanted to come, so I let her. What a good friend you are. But this meeting's just for you, CO458. So S4174, you're free too. Is it that big of a deal, Andrew? I don't think there's any harm in meeting his roommate. Right. Then why don't you introduce yourself to the lady?
Well, allow me.
Please try to keep it short. You only have so much time.
Nice to meet ya. I'm Pavel. Though most of the people here only call me CO458.
A serial number. Standard procedure. It's how we keep data collection unbiased. Plus, the first class had, like, 3 Emmas and 4 Quins, so... right. What about you, lady? What's your name? Well... Angie, how should I respond? I've never worked with children before. You can give them your name, no big deal. The trainees like to call me Dr. Angie. Got it. Then, you can call me Dr. DJ. Dr. DJ. Dr. DJ. Dr. DJ. That's a nice name. Has anyone ever told you that? Not, recently. Oh. Do you want to introduce yourself too? Well, the floor's all yours.
Hello.
Aww.
I'm... Sharia.
Sharia. You got the Shiri. Look, Dr. Deidre's waving to you. Sharia is my roommate. Normally we stick together. If I'm around, chances are she is too. I see. Are you two close? Oh, we're besties! We never go anywhere without each other. Except for class. I wish we weren't in different squads. Hey, Dee. Sorry to butt in, but I'm afraid we don't have all the time in the world, unless you want to skip out on the research labs for today. No, I do want to see them. Let me just wrap up here. It's lovely to meet you, CO4. Starting next week, I'll be interviewing you. Interviewing me? About what? To be honest, I haven't quite decided yet. But I think I'd like to talk about your hobbies, your classmates, your future. Lots of things like that. Oh, I can do that, but I'm confused. Why me? That's a good question, Because I picked you specifically. And why did you pick me specifically? That's the word. Well, you stood out in class. I saw you, and I thought you'd be interesting to talk to. Makes sense. My teacher says I'm like a dandelion in a field full of roses. That's one way of putting it. But wait, what about your friend? I promise you won't be alone for long. Once I'm done talking with you, you can go back to what do kids do these days? I haven't been around them in so long. Back to playing. Did I guess right? Oh, thank God.
Sound reasonable?
Yeah. It's a deal.
I'm glad you approve.
Sorry if I rushed you a bit back there.
I realized I might have come across as grouchy earlier. It's just, we've all been working a lot of hours lately. It wears on you, you know? Oh no, it's fine. Not like I was much better in the past. Oh God, no. When you were taking lead on artificial spleen development, it was like you were in a trance. If I gave you one little tap on the shoulder, you'd snap up like a cobra on a rake. Yes, I remember how you put it. Those are long days. By the time we pushed through, I never wanted to see another culture sample as long as I lived. And you're here. So Angie, about those research labs. Right. From here, the fastest route would be... Alright then. Case study report. 513. Initial supervisor report. Though it has been advertised as a youth education program, it is now my understanding that the purpose of the Youth Training and Development Initiative (TDI) is to prepare its trainees for a cybernetic enhancement and eventual employment within STOP. While it is known that biotech synchronization rates are inversely correlated to age, the side effects on individuals below the age of 18, that's an 8, not a 0 hide, are not fully understood at this time and may be more severe than they would be on an adult mind and body. Furthermore, I have ethical concerns about the purpose of the program and how its participants are selected. As supervisor, it is my intent to observe the YTDI's operations and ensure that the health and well-being of its trainees are being properly upheld. As part of my duties, I intend on engaging in a focused case study of trainee CO458 to observe his development under the YTDI's curriculum. For compliance purposes, our one-on-one conversations will be recorded. Dr. Deidre Destrange. Use your mouse to explore Deidre's desk. When your cursor changes into a magnifying glass, you can interact with something. What will you learn about Dr. Destrange? Once Deidre's case study is finished, she'll send these documents to STOP's hires up. She hopes her findings will shut the YTV down. This report marks the 1 month point of trainee CO458's case study. In this time, I have observed several facets of the YTDI's operations and now believe that I have a firm grasp of the day-to-day activities of the trainees. The majority of trainees selected for the YTDI come from orphanages. Upon arrival at the YTDI, trainees are separated into squads, similar to the ones utilized by STOP field agents. Formal education takes place entirely within these squads. It involves tuition in literacy, mathematics, self-defense, etc. Outside of the classroom, trainees have access to several extracurricular activities, including craft work, sports, and video games. While these activities are beneficial for fostering bonds and growth between children, I find it notable that they overlap with activities undertaken by stop operatives in the recovery period after the implementation of new cybernetics. Second, just checking my lyrics. Alright. This includes sewing for hand-eye coordination, video games for reaction speed, etc. The standard of care appears to be at least sufficient. CO458 has expressed that it is a significant improvement over his previous lodgings. Still, I have some questions to raise with Dr. Tan later. Dr. Deidre, it's strange. Deidre's diary. Like many academics, Deidre has thoughts about herself and the world around her. This is where she writes them. June 6th, 2000. Part of me just wants my thoughts to blow with the wind. Putting them to paper will have to do for now. Besides, all the blue light was making my eyes ache. The trainees are all orphans. I'm not surprised. But I am surprised that the YTDI isn't much different from a standard boarding school, militaristic, dressing aside. Compared to how STOP's first few batches of field agents were housed, the accommodations here are downright luxurious. Still, that's comparing volunteer soldiers to abandoned children. A strange analogy, to put it mildly. And for some reason, the trainees' meals consist of lab script, and only lab script. Why? It's true that lab script contains all the nutrients they need to grow healthy and strong, but it's intended for typical in vivio test subjects. I've seen the size of the budgets that STOP works with. They can definitely afford to feed these children real food. So now they're not giving them real food either? At least the education is world class. Clearly STOP spending was put to good use there. One time Angie took me to a literacy lesson. Out of the blue, she asked a trainee to recite part of King Lear, and the girl belted it out like it was on a switch. I don't know how useful that skill was, but it was definitely impressive. Another time, the two of us watched a teacher taught a squadron field pharmacy in the courtyard. If someone eats this mushroom, how would you counteract its effects with only the items in your bags? How long do they have before their airways close? It was intense, to say the least. At times, the teacher's questions felt more like threats, but the building itself is immaculate, practically sparkling. If my shoes track dirt as I walk in, it's wiped away by the time I walk out. Even STOP headquarters doesn't agonize over cleanliness to this extent. I just wish they showed that much care for the trainees themselves, like that boy, CO458. For formal reasons, I can't mention it in recording sessions, but I know his name is Pavel. Was taking his name necessary? Are they that concerned about observer bias? He's an orphan. His name might be the only thing his parents ever gave him. Why scribble it away like it's something dirty? A stain to be removed. The boy's lonely too. Yes, he has Shira, but she isn't part of his squadron, his pre-assigned social group. His squad mates exclude him outside of class. They don't let him play with them. So CO458 is often in the arts and craft center, sewing or knitting by himself, and it's not much better in class. Kids roll their eyes when he's paired up with them for group tasks. Sometimes they'll go behind his back and ask the teacher if they can swap for anyone else. Thankfully, the teachers never concede to CO458's squad mates, but that hasn't stopped them from asking anyway. I think a lot of this could be solved if the kids weren't pitted against one another. Now, that's a good point there, it probably would. All the trainees have their hobbies, but CO458 doesn't have much else. I know he likes superheroes, so I'll bring him some comics from the YTDI's library. No one stop. I expect the books there are vetted, but there's still a chance I might find something that'll make him smile. Maybe I could even use it to teach him. It certainly doesn't seem like any of his actual teachers are interested in personalizing the learning experience. Oh, I also bought a pack of stickers for him. Do children his age think grape stickers are cool? What am I doing? I'm no child psychologist. Couldn't even qualify as a pediatrician. So this game pretty much is showing you how our protagonists in MalViolence got to be in that lab. To the position he was in. I really jumped into the deep end with his case study, didn't I? If I weren't senior stop staff, I'd probably be sacked by now. Maybe grape is lame. Maybe orange is the way to go. God, I don't know. I guess there's only one way to find out. T. Teachers. An old PC maintained with love. This is where Deidre keeps recorded interviews for her case study. Interview of CO4 fact. June 12th.
All right, CO458, I've started recording. Before you fall over from all that wiggling.
Yay!
I'm just super excited. I'm glad to hear that. But you can relax. We're just talking today. Really? Phew. My cheeks are numb from all the grinning. I can imagine. In fact, I think I did the same thing in my school photos. You did? Guess so. Though I stopped because, well, it made me look like a dork. That's pretty harsh. How'd you... Still kinda do. Okay. Have you ever been called something like that before? A dork? Hey, Silver! Welcome in. No. Well, maybe a few times. But the other kids don't know anything, so it's their loss. What don't they know? That when I grow up, I'm gonna be super famous and super pretty, and I'm gonna have 1 billion friends. Ooh, very nice. Congrats, and I hope you enjoy that. I'll cross my fingers for you. Anyways, we're starting to veer off topic, and I only have so much time, so why don't I ask you some things? Okay. What do you want to know? For today, I have 3 questions. Pop quiz, huh? Okay. I'm ready to go. Great. Then let me just get my papers out. There we go. First question, how did you come to join the YTDI? What do you mean? I mean, before you became a trainee, where did you live? Well, I lived in an orphanage. Oh, and what was that like? I don't remember much, but it was pretty lonely. There weren't many of others. There? No, there was a whole bunch of us. But we shared rooms and beds and the adult detention. So you weren't treated as an individual. Yeah, I wasn't. A lot of us ran around. And it was pretty noisy, but I was always bored. When it wasn't meal time, school time, or chore time, I was stuck in the common room with most of the others. Ooh, that sucks. And because we had to share so much, we fought all the time. Really? Yeah. Like one time I wanted to play with the Scrabble board, but another girl said I couldn't have it, because all I did was trace the board's grid with my fingers. So I said to her, "Nuh-uh, that's how you play Scrabble." And then she said, "You're always doing stuff wrong." And then I made a face at her. And then she pulled my hair. And then, I'm assuming you both got into trouble? Yeah. I scratched her and she started crying. So I got punished. I found the rulebook later. She was right. I was playing the game wrong. I said sorry, but the way I played was fun too. Oh, Pavel. Interesting. How you picked for the one. You seem different from the other trainees. At least compared to the others in your squadron. I don't know. One day these people in white clothes came to the orphanage. They didn't want to play or talk or anything. They just watched us for a week or so. And this loud person told me and a bunch of other kids that we had a fright. I mean a bright future ahead of us. And then they brought us here. You must have come from a world away, huh? I don't think so. I fell asleep on the bus because I couldn't sleep the night before. But when we got here, it wasn't even lunchtime. I see. Let's move on to the next question. Are you getting along with your squadron? We're all supposed to get along for a squadron. I guess that lines up with what Angie told me. But it's okay. You can be honest with me. Okay. Most of my squad mates are boring apple polishers. Tell us how you really feel, Pavel. They hate me just because the teachers get mad at me and make us stay in class for an extra 10 minutes. It's not my fault class is dull. And it's not like my doodles are bothering anyone. Did you know any of your squad mates back at the orphanage? No. For some reason, I was put in a different squad from everyone else I knew. Squad sorting must be done so randomly, trying to avoid pre-established social grouping. So I just had to jot something down. What about your roommate? What do you think of her? Roommate. You mean Shiri? Well, she's really quiet most of the time. But once you get to know her, she's really smart and kind. And most importantly, she's my best friend. You told me that when you introduced her to me. Hydration time. Yep. She's also my first friend. And I guess my only one. When class is done, we talk about whatever we want and do things together. Oh, she teaches me all kinds of stuff. Tutoring? Like a few weeks ago, she taught me how to do my hair. Huh. So that's why you have a hairband there. Mm-hmm. I wear it all the time now. Is there anything else you do together? Filling in coloring books, playing Mary Mac or A Sailor Went to Sea. Oh, and you read. Though she is way better than me at it. Like, way better. I heard the teacher say she was 2 reading levels ahead of the rest of her squad. Wow. That's genuinely impressive. I know, right? She's so cool. Which brings me to my third and final question. When Shiria's not around, what do you like doing in your spare time? Sewing and knitting. When it's break time, I go to the arts and crafts room and make stuff. So far, I've made a placemat and a headband and a scarf. I can show you them sometime if you want. Maybe another time. Okay. Just let me know when you change your mind. Or actually, there's one more thing I like doing. But the teachers say it's not proper. Shoot. The word's right on the tip of my tongue. I know it begins with L. Is it literature? Yeah, that's the one. Anyways, I like reading comics. There's a lot less words than Shiria's books, but they're filled with cool pictures. I wish my art was that cool. Well, you know what they say, right? Practice makes perfect. If you keep going, you'll get where you need to be. I'm one step ahead of you. That's why I doodle in class, so I can get good fast. Is there anything else you enjoy doing? Well, there's lots of stuff I want to try, but class and homework's always in the way. Blech. I'm sorry. I hope you can get more free time in the future. Yeah, me too. So that's all the questions I have. I think I'm comfortable stopping here. Huh? You're leaving already? Yes, I'm afraid I'm still playing catch-up at work. Playing? No, oh, I get it. You've got homework to... Huh? You seem like a very busy lady, Dr. Deidre. More so than usual. But I should have enough time to dig out my scrattle board. You have a scrattle board? I do, right in my basement. Or was it in storage? Either way, I'll find it. And we can play it in whichever way you want. Really? Mm-hmm. You shouldn't underestimate me, though. You're talking to a scrattle champion. Or, an ex-champion. It's been a bit since I've last played. Whoa. The scrattle champion. I really do have to go now. But here, please take this. Consider it a thank you of sorts. What? What's this? It's a special kind of sticker. If you scratch it... Whoa. It smells like grapes. Yeah, it sure does. Is it, cool? Thank you, Dr. Deidre. And, thank you for talking with me.
I'll see you next week. Yes?
Keep bringing in awesome stuff like this, and I'll talk to you every day.
Aww. Sometimes Deidre needs Iris to lend her an ear. As Deidre's former supervisor, what advice can Iris give her? The craft center was nice. I mean, that's gotta be a good sign, right? A good sign and a good thing are different matters. Come on, help me out here. Help isn't what you're texting me for, is it? Besides, I'm a lot more concerned about the militaristic conditions you reported. That can change. Yet, every time you critique some part of the YTDI, Dr. Tan seems to resist. And she's always been pretty rigid. She's not a bad person, just very by the books. Dr. Tan is an associate director. She's been around for so long that she writes the book. No one's forcing her to stay where she is. I could have easily been in her shoes, Iris. Not with her scruples. I never worked directly with Tan, but I know her reputation. She's got a savior complex. That's dangerous. What? She just wants to help people. I'm sure she believes that, but she works in cybernetics. And when you're holding a hammer, everything looks like a nail. You haven't seen her with the trainees. Every time we pass by a group of them, she smiles and waves, asks how they're doing. And they give her the biggest, sweetest smiles back. They don't do that to any other of the other researchers. DJ? She's my friend, Iris. You're one of the brightest people I know. Maybe the best of your generation. So why are you always looking away from the truth? You've seen the lab script, the classrooms, the panopticon. You don't owe Tan your trust. Or anyone at Stop for that matter. They've given their stamp of approval for all this, and it smells rotten. We can heal that rot, if you say so. I just want to have faith in the colleagues and friends I've worked with for years. We've made the world the safest it's been in decades. So I'm positive that things will get better. Angie included. Even a genius can't change the mind of someone who's not listening. That's why the case study needs to go on. I will make them all listen. Right. Anything else you wanted to discuss? You know that trainee I chose to work for my case study? CO458? I bought him a grape-scented sticker the other day. He loved it. Well then, I take back what I said. Sounds like it's all rosy over there. Thanks, Iris. From the bridge I gaze below at the courtyard. As the sun begins to set, its beams softly tint the YTDI's walls and floors a pale orange. It's comforting. Even the black of the pillar in the center of the room looks warmer than usual. Warm. I never thought I'd see the YTDI that way. It's worlds apart from my first impression of it 1 month ago. 30 days of observing classes, conducting interviews, and writing notes, and they felt like seconds. I wonder if it's my age. The older I've grown, the quicker time passes. Summer, fall, winter, spring. All of it passing by while I, musing over my impending mortality, won't get me anywhere. But the YTDI really does look warm. If there weren't other people in the building, I'd go down to the ground floor and take a nap in the grass. Right now, I'm sure some of the trainees are doing the same. Children shouldn't have cybernetics, or lab script diets. The YTDI is an affront to my research. Any sane person would agree with me. That's why I'm doing everything I can to shut it down, behind the backs of the people who run this program. But I can't object to giving children, unwanted children, a home, an education, a guaranteed future. They don't have to hunt for scraps, or wake up each morning and search for shelter over their heads, as long as they stay here at the work together. What? Once again, Angie's voice cuts my thoughts short. Did I interrupt something? You're looking pretty contemplative. Can't I just have a moment alone, Angie? No, it's not. You could have fooled me. Am I that easy to read, Angie? Far from it. I've needed a lot of practice. Huh. Guess you've had plenty of opportunities to do so. So what can I do for you? Oh, it's nothing work-related. Not like I have trainee info to give you anyways. I just wanted a chance to catch up. You've been here for what? A month now. Would you look at that? 1 month exactly. Lucky guess. You want to take a stroll? They say walking and talking gets the blood flowing. Talking gets the blood flowing? More than standing here staring at nothing. Come on. We've got a lot to catch up on, don't we? No, we don't got anything to catch up on. No. Alright, Angie. Fine. You're not going to take no for an answer. We begin to walk around the bridge's perimeter. Our pace is slow, aimless, lazy, and our conversation is just as meandering. See any films lately? Any takeout places you recommend? I know modern art's not your thing, but I think you'd enjoy this new exhibit. And if you don't, you can pick up where we have dinner next time. As we chat, my whole body relaxes. It was like this in the beginning, waiting outside of stop headquarters, excited to take Angie out for our pre-weekend burgers and milkshakes. We were young, and the world didn't make sense, but our work always did.
Hey, D. D?
Hear Angie calling my name, and my mind snaps back to focus. Something wrong.
No. Nothing.
I was just wondering if you were ready to, bring up what was going on earlier. Oh, that. No pressure. You're not up to it. No, I am. I just need a moment. Take all the time you need. Take a deep breath to think about how to approach this. Actually, can I ask you a question? As a friend. Go ahead. I'm all ears. Why did you end up working for the YTDI? That's a big question. It's one that's been on my mind a lot lately. Please just answer the question. You saw that classified file. Pardon me? The one with the summary of documents in the photo. How do you know about that? A disgruntled employee blew up a few months back. Swiped a bunch of files taken out of context and tried to shop them out to anyone who would listen. This is around when you were first curious about the YTDI, right? Yes. People asked me if I knew about it. Of course, at the time I didn't have the full picture. You know those animal rights groups? The ones with the ridiculous PR teams? They demonize us undergrads for dissecting rats. Blast the web with oversaturated, gory photos, sensationalized blog posts, social media campaigns. The works. Cherry pick the information to make normal scientists look vile, and make themselves look heroic. But those lab researchers care for those animals like they were their own pets. There's piles of paperwork, elaborate onboarding procedures, frequent inspections on their welfare. Even on a practical level, they discourage their suffering. There aren't any rats at this facility, Angie. Of course not. Just wanted to make an analogy. People exaggerating things and all that. You're not answering the question, why did you want to work here? Ah, okay. Then I apologize for it. No, I'm glad you pointed it out. Don't want you to take anything I said the wrong way. You were going to tell me about why you joined the YTDI? Right. We went off topic, didn't we? Yes, we did. You just asked a simple why. Everyone has the right to a bright future. Most of these trainees don't come from pleasant backgrounds. All of them are orphans. Many of them lived in places they couldn't even feed them once a day. So if Stopped hadn't intervened, their futures would have been... Well, that's why I think the YTDI has potential now. It provides its trainees with housing, community, secure life. And by giving them a secure life, the YTDI will prevent future crimes. So in the long term, the YTDI will contribute to stop raising Dietre. Exactly. And in the short term, we're changing these trainees' lives for the better. Still, seeing children receive cybernetic enhancements, that just doesn't sit right with me. I understand. You don't want to be remembered as the mother of cyborg children, do you? I don't have anything to say to that. She's spot on. We won't do anything here for fickle reasons. Subjects are only ever cybernetically enhanced if we feel that their quality of life could be improved. That file you saw, all those photos, every one of those children were physically disabled. But I saw there was a blonde girl, right? Trainee 021455, I remember. Anna Fatima. Her poor vision caused her to struggle in class, so we gave her a new eye. Now her essay is on top par with some of the top students in her squadron. I see. Some of these trainees came here with congenital defects. Others with horrible accidents. We've only ever used cybernetics to level the playing field between them and their able squads. My shoulders feel lighter, my brow in furrows. I'm relieved to hear that, and I'm relieved to know that my legacy hasn't been completely tarnished. You're getting a little bit too close, Angie.
I want you to know if you have any concerns, you can always come and talk to
Angie,
me.
you're a little bit too close. Personal space, please.
Or just vent, if it's after hours.
Almost feels like old times.
Yeah, we're practically kids again.
Hey, want to come to the arts and crafts room? Wait, isn't that it for trainees? So, most of them are in their rooms right now. Even if that's true, you know I'm not good at... Aw, D. I'm not expecting the next cloud game or anything. It's just to decompress. Fine. I'll come. Yes. But in return, I get to pick the restaurant for dinner. Oh, so we're eating out again. Just like old times. Just like old times. August 13th. Regular conversations with CO458 have continued. Contrary to what I witnessed while observing his classroom, CO458 has been inquisitive and willing to cooperate with my study in our one-on-one interactions. It is my firm belief that CO458's intelligence is not below the norm. Rather, the teaching methods used by the YTDI are insufficient to engage him. What his instructors have labeled as acting out appears to instead merely be an expression of boredom. Considering the number of children YTDI has under its roof, I do not believe that CO458 is the only trainee having difficulty with their assignments. I have noted that his squad's instructors rarely encourage creative solutions to assignments, and instead prefer completion of tasks to a set rubric. Standards-based teaching methods often produce results that look good on a spreadsheet, but they rarely result in significant information retention or well-developed critical thinking skills. On top of this, children with learning disorders are often left behind. What worries me is that CO458's antics often result in his entire class being punished for his actions. The intent behind this measure is to emphasize that the squad is a unit. A failure on one member's part reflects on them all. Perhaps this is successful in other squads, but in CO458's case, all they seem to have managed to do is other him from his peers. I wasn't prepared for the number of trainees who were happy to be at the YTDI. The number of trainees who were overjoyed just because they had clean clothes and sheets. And money doesn't necessarily buy quality, but STOP really isn't cheaping out on schooling board. They're practically throwing money at this program, even if the staff sometimes treat the trainees carelessly. The trainees are given a rigorous curriculum of math, literacy, physical education, and self-defense, but the instruction is cold. I'm not a teacher, but I know that I only learned to love science because a physics teacher told me I'd be a good fit for her club. If she hadn't shown me personal attention, where would I be now? No amount of punishment could have made me Dr. Destrange. One time I watched CO458's in a squadron line up to receive the results of the grammar quiz. It wasn't hard for me to guess how well each trainee did. Some shied away from the comments. Others threw their heads back in the room. But when CO458 arrived at the front of the line, I have to do another makeup quiz. But I studied really hard this time. Not hard enough, I'm afraid. The quiz will start at the time I wrote. See you then. No. That's gonna get in the way of my crafting time. Why can't it be? There's no point in throwing a tantrum. You're going to take the makeup quiz at the time I set, whether you like it or not. Now go. It's rude to hold up the rest of your squadron. Again? Alright. 10-minute penalty. Line up against the whiteboard. Quiet. CO458. You'll be in the middle. As CO458 drags his feet to the front of the classroom, I watched the other trainees. Some of them rolled their eyes at him. Others gave him a bitter glare. Given the way the teachers pitted the trainees against CO458, I wasn't surprised they disliked him. To them, he was a dead weight to their squadron. An underperforming troublemaker. And to me, he was... Seeing no one help him left an indescribable emptiness in my chest. This pains me. Children like him aren't dumb. If you treat them this way, they'll learn that their performance determines their worth as a person. I've known college students who've found that level of responsibility overwhelming. But these trainees are elementary schoolers. They need coaching to get things through to them. It's making me realize and think of what my life could have been like if I didn't have the sport growing up. Frankly, I'm surprised there aren't more strikers. I acknowledge the YTDI is a new program, and STOP isn't an educational organization. Growing pains are par for the course. Angie's been listening to my criticisms. She's not stonewalling me, but she's defensive and practiced at it. She's already ready to fire off statistics in response. Half of the trainees were illiterate before they came here. Now 98% of them are performing above metrics. Meanwhile, when I ask about my own suggestions for the YTDI, she claims they're in the queue to be heard. That there's a long chain of command to go through. She is listening to me. Except when it comes to the use of cybernetics. Angie says they're helping disabled trainees, but she brushes off their side effects as easily as if we were discussing fringe theories in the classroom. And whenever she does, I can't help but wonder, how are those trainees coping with technology grafted to their bodies? Did they ask for these enhancements? Do I want my research to be associated with these procedures? Well, I'll try to be patient with Angie for now. Convincing people takes time. Besides, the YTDI has other problems. The trainees sleep in a panopticon. No matter where the rooms are, there will be guards and cameras peering inside. The games, books, and shows they have access to are limited in their themes, and I've seen more than one trainee tense up whenever I pass by their dorm's window. I'm sure the staff are miserable too. The guards eat their meals while they're on duty. The teachers' curriculums are stringent. And it's a wonder the researchers can see their screens when they're blatantly ignoring what's in front of them. If STOP wants its own boarding school division, or J-Rock program, more power to them. But I wish that YTDI wouldn't be so cavalier with cybernetics, overbearing with security measures, draconian with education. I don't know. The more I think about it, the less I want to write. I hope Angie was right about my suggestions being in the queue. I have this dreadful feeling that change can't come soon enough.
Oh, the video camera wasn't on.
Oopsie. Guess the world will never know the results of our grand Scrattle match, huh?
It's quite a shame. Your skills have improved tremendously. But I lost again. Well, I was a Scrattle champion. You just learned the rule set a couple weeks ago. I mean it. You are very good. I think you could go toe-to-toe with Shiria. Oh. Have you foolish adults finally reevaluated my reading ability? Wait. I don't think Shiria knows how to play Scrattle. Could you teach her? From what you told me, I think she'd also make a wonderful player. Maybe. I don't know if I'll have time, you know? What do you mean? Did something happen? Can I tell you a secret? Okay. So my teacher asked me to stay behind in class. I thought he had spotted me drawing again, but he told me I didn't have to study anymore. It's one of the researchers that talked to him. That's strange. What did they tell him? They said, I'm gonna go through my first processing. Processing? What is that? I don't know. None of us know. I mean, I know that everyone gets processed eventually, and that processed trainees graduate. And that when you graduate, you leave the initiative. That's rather vague. That's what I said. They must be hiding something. I don't know what's gonna happen to me. When I think about it at night, I can't sleep. It makes my skin all prickly. If you want to know what's really strange? None of my squad mates are getting processed with me. Is that unusual? Yeah. We always see other trainees leaving for processing in groups of 2 or 3 or 4. Never one. CO4 I'm not stupid. I know why I was picked. It's because I doodle in class. So I forget my homework. When it's time for group projects, none of my squad mates want to work with me. Because whenever I try to talk to someone, they always act so tired. My squad, the other trainees, even my teachers. I know they want me processed. I sense it, even when they don't speak to me. Because they all hate me. I don't think that's true. Shiria doesn't hate you. She's in a different squad. She doesn't have to be around me when we do class. If she was always getting punished because of me, well, I like you too. How about that? You're just saying that because of your case study thing. No. No. I mean it. You're a talented artist. Your excitement is infectious. You're much smarter than people give you credit for. And I think you're lovely, just the way you are. Can I ask you something? Go right ahead. Could you visit me as soon as my first processing is over? Of course. I mean, my case study requires it. Pinky swear? Pinky swear. And if you break your promise? You can, break my finger. What, really? No, that's not how. Please don't. But I will come back for you no matter.
I promise.
Did you censor anything from your talks with Tan? From what I can read, she's far from honest. Angie isn't some Zelot. She's a brilliant scientist and a dear friend. I just need a little more time to get on my side. It's been 3 months. When I said she was rigid, I wasn't kidding. But you know, talking to her made me think. If we rebuild the YTDI from the inside out, it could be a net positive for children everywhere. 4 months ago, you were afraid the YTDI leave you with a foul legacy. That your research on cybernetic synchrites would make you the mother of cyborg children. Now you want to rebuild the YTDI. If they got rid of the cybernetics, I'm confident that STOP could turn the YTDI into a competent institution. Competent institutions don't feed kids lab script. I'm not going to burn everything down for a better future. It's not incompatible with what you want. Thanks, TJ. STOP is a security organization, not a charity. They offer peace of mind for sale. They do anything to keep world leaders lining their pockets. What else would they be enhancing children except for their own... Why else would they be enhancing children except for their own benefit? They only give cybernetics to physically disabled trainees. I doubt those trainees ask for them. This argument is unproductive, Iris. Look, let's say the YTDI was shut down tomorrow. Like you clearly want it to be. Where would all the trainees go? Who else would have the resources and the will to take them all in? STOP didn't make the YTDI with kind intentions. I can tell you that much. Don't be so conspiratorial. Don't be so blind. Your research built the foundations for this program. I know. Then speak up. Come on, Deidre. Iris has a point. What's this? Thank you. So by the way, about how sudden all this is.
It's okay. I can always do my homework tomorrow morning.
Though I might not finish before class starts. Your teachers already know about your interview today. They agreed to give you an extension. I didn't know they gave extensions. They've never given them before? No. In my squad, we're supposed to move at the same pace as each other. Like a flock of birds, right? So, an extension for someone who falls behind is, from what your teachers have told me, you seem like the leader among your squad. I got the impression that they didn't expect a misassignment to deter you. Does that make you feel better? Good. Then please introduce yourself.
My name is Trainee S4-174.
You told me your name the first time we met. Why not now?
I didn't want C0-458 to feel alone.
I see. What was your life like before you joined the YTDI? You don't have to talk about anything that makes you uncomfortable. It was very far away from here. Let's see. Thank you. I'll move on. Question 2. Are you getting along with your squadron? Honestly, please. Honestly, I feel like I'm trapped inside glass. My squad mates see me. They know I exist, but they don't know how to reach me. To be honest, I don't know how to reach them either. It probably doesn't help that they're weirded out by my arm. None of my squad mates are missing anything. But that doesn't stop kids in the other squads from getting along. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Or maybe it's that lady. The one with the messy hair and the dangly ears. You mean Angie? Dr. Tan. What is she? She likes to meet me after class. Asking me how I'm doing with homework. Have me write or carry things for a few minutes. Sometimes she'll take a roll of measuring tape and wrap it around my arm. And if I do well, she'll pat my head and give me candy. I thought candy was practically contraband. I don't mind any of that, but every time Dr. Angie takes me aside, she and my teachers tell my squad mates to follow my example. And I think some of them are jealous of that. And how do you feel about it? Sick to my stomach. I don't like working. I don't like being in the spotlight. They call me a hard worker, but I'm just trying to escape notice. Just trying to avoid arguments, fights, the other kids. But my squad mates drag me into their messes anyway. They want Dr. Angie's attention. They want to be praised. They want candy envy. They all want to be someone's favorite. My class scares me, Dr. DJ. We don't have to talk about them anymore if you don't want to. Please. Well then, what do you think of CO458? CO458. I like him. He's my best friend. He told me the same thing. That makes me really happy. When I first came to the YTDI, he was my assigned roommate. As soon as I entered my dorm, he marched over and swung his hand up to greet me. He had this big, goofy grin on his face. I've seen it before. Strangers that act friendly. Bad people with fake smiles that are trying to get something from you. And I didn't know what he wanted from me. So for the first weeks, I tried to avoid him as much as possible. Finding a quiet corner in the library. Hiding in the bush in the middle of the courtyard. I thought he'd get tired of it after a couple days. Somehow, he'd always find me anyway.
One day, I couldn't stand it anymore. So I just asked him, "Why do you keep bugging me?" And you know what he told me? "You look lonely. I want to be your friend."
Aww.
He wasn't hiding anything. He didn't want anything from me. Somehow, I could just tell he was sincere.
And that's how you two became close. After that, I stuck with CO458 whenever I could. Playing games with him. Writing stories together. Sometimes we just sit in silence and read books in the library. I owe a lot to CO458. Because of him, the dorm's the one place I don't feel like I'm walking on eggshells. But there's something wrong. The camera? It's a standard one. Video, but no audio. There's no need to worry. It won't pick up on anything we say. Really? But in class we're told they have microphones. Some of them do, technically. But the mic's limited in range, so it'll only record poor quality sound. Instead, fixing poor sound is expensive and time-consuming. Stop usually keeps the mics off. See, did you want to continue? I'm worried about CO458. You've been watching over him, right? Yes. So you've seen how they treat him in class? Yes. If you stay a bad student, you'll get a nasty punishment. One that'll change your life forever. That's what everyone whispers. When I first heard the rumor, I was terrified. I didn't want CO458 to. Not after everything he did for me. So, I tried helping him after school. I taught him how to concentrate in boring classes, or fake it. We read through textbooks together. I even wrote in sheets of study notes. But no matter how hard he tried to get better, he kept getting picked on. Even though he was improving, they kept singling him out. And then he told me he was getting processed. You know what that means? No. But after he said it, he looked like he didn't want to look at me anymore.
They took him away last week. Without him, everything's so quiet. He's not flipping through comic books, or scribbling on his desk, or rummaging through my box of hairbands.
Oh. Cherry.
Am I a bad friend for thinking he's being punished right now?
I wish I knew what to say. Aren't you a doctor? Don't you know what's happening? I'm sorry. I'm as much in the dark as you are. But knowing CO4 pilot, I'm sure he'll be okay. He's a strong boy. I think so. I know so. He is the center of my case study, after all. I hope you're right. I think I'll conclude our interview here. You look tired. Do I? Honestly, you look like you're about to fall asleep. Maybe. Would a parting gift help cheer you up? I have a pack of scented stickers. Here, choose whichever one you want.
Thank you, but I'll be alright.
You really don't want one? I thought they were cool.
Don't worry about me. Dr. Angie has me covered. Save them for Pavel.
He used his name. Focused study of CO458 is on hold while the subject undergoes processing. Observation of CO458's performance squad have continued in the meantime, with little to report. Without CO458's presence, classroom time is quiet and proceeds evenly. Conducted short interviews with trainees in this cohort. Anxiety about future graduations is high. Currently seeking clearance to visit CO458 recovery. Will update after I had an opportunity to do so. Where could CO458 be? The security board told me that it would be at least another week before he returned. Of course, they didn't mention anything about processing. It sounds scientific, but it could mean practically anything. And if it happens to involve cybernetics, no, there's only so much they can do before it should be mine. Maybe even... Why am I still trying to rationalize this? I've deferred to stop in all its excuses. Despite having the proof right in front of me, they want to use my research to modify children. Fine. I don't know, and frankly, it doesn't matter. If the YTDI was serving the greater good, why have Angie and her co-workers acted so evasive, so secretive? I can't afford to be humble or gracious, or cowardly. I know more about cybernetics than every other researcher in their department put together. Thank you, Deirdre, for finally putting it to him, and yet I allowed myself to be cowed. I acted responsibly. I never caused a scene, because I cared much more about appeasing Stock than doing the right thing. I'm glad that she's finally, trying to take a stand here. I can't look away anymore, so they shouldn't be able to. I'll finish my reports, thrust it in their faces, make them see what they brought. I'll be diplomatic, even if it means biting my tongue. And I'll write this. All cybernetics have limitations. If CO458 is being modified, the most they could do is enhance self-defense. Still invasive and perverse, but once he's endured the anesthesia and intense PT regimens, it ultimately won't affect his daily life. They wouldn't risk harming a valuable young subject with anything more extreme. Hopefully the worst will soon be over. CO458 is still alive. Once he's gone through processing, I'll make every effort to place him in an environment better suited for a child his age. First, I need to think of an appropriate recovery gift. Something I can fit in my lab coat pockets. He's in process. I won't get to see him for at least another week. I thought there'd be more time. He's still so small. Is there anything you know about processing? Please tell me it's only skin deep. I'm sorry. I never oversaw any of the projects directly. By the time the YTDI was founded, I was already on the way out. Surely you have something on yours. I know you keep tabs on everything. Not on this. Processing is kept under especially tight wraps at the YTDI. As you guessed, it's a step related to cybernetic enhancement, but beyond that, I should have done something. I should have used my authority, my expertise to intervene before it was too late. Instead, I just stood by the silence. I never even raised my voice. I know, I've been critical sometimes, harshy, but I think this would have gone ahead anyways, no matter what you did. Really? From my impression of these people, definitely. How encouraging. Listen, I was given a polite exit, but your name still carries weight at stop. Your case study is compelling and detailed, and I have no doubt that little boy is going to be more than happy to see you again once he's out of it. You just need to save your strength for the right time. When that time comes, don't take no for an answer. Thank you, Iris. I just hope I'm not too late.
Good afternoon, CO458.
See you back in processing.
Dr. Deidre? You came!
You sound surprised. I promised you I'd visit, didn't I? Yeah, but... It's been a really long week. I kinda wondered if you'd forgotten. Never. Hmm? What's that? That's on the floor. Oh, it's just a puzzle piece. Sure, I was working on finishing it while I was gone. When I was wheeled back in, it got trampled on. Sure. Wasn't happy about that. Can imagine. Here, I got you something. I figured you'd need to pick me up after us. Whoa. There's some snacks from outside. I promise they taste nothing like script. I didn't know they made food so colorful. And tasty. Glad I picked out something good. So, what have you been up to since processing? Just resting? I'm trying, but Shiri keeps bringing me classwork. Thought I didn't have to study anymore. That's very rude of them. I'm sorry, 458. You know, I've been thinking. You don't have to call me that. You can call me Pal. For the sake of the case study, I really shouldn't break protocol. Did you break protocol for the gummies? Alright, alright. I'm sorry, Pal. You much better. Is having a proper name important? Indeed it is. It's a big deal for you two. Not just anybody gets to call me by my true name. Oh? Yeah. It's like I'm letting you use it. You and Sherry, no one else. You're my inner circle. You get to know my secret identity. Like a superhero, huh? Exactly, like a superhero. Got it. I'll keep it hush-hush then. Have you been outside the room since the processing? No. When I said I was better earlier, I wasn't exaggerating? Yeah, thanks. You've always got the right words for me. But yeah, being bedridden. It's really starting to bug me. It's like I've got a house cold. You mean cabin fever? Whatever. They're the same thing anyway. Not really, but okay. Then what happened during your processing? Well, it was kind of like getting my teeth cleaned. Like one moment, I'm laying on this long hard table. They've got this big light over me. It kind of looked like a spider with a bunch of eyes and legs. The light was super bright underneath, and I was surrounded by all these doctors with white uniforms and masks. I was told to count down from 60, so I did. But then I fell asleep before I could finish. And then I woke up and... Excuse me? What happened? Is there something wrong with your legs? Wrong. No. Nothing was wrong with them. But now they can give me better legs. You know what? Upgrade. Better ones. Ones that'll let me run faster or jump higher. Like a real superhero, you know? Really, it's okay. If I just practice hard. I believe you, pal. You don't have to move. Please. You're very brave. Do you know that, pal? Of course I'm brave. Brave like a hero, huh? Here. Hide these under your pillow.
Make them count. I'll be back in a week. Promise.
See you again, dude. That sad look on his face just breaks my heart. Like, it absolutely breaks my heart. I can't be a part of this. No one should be a part of this. It's not enough to leave. The fact that anything like this could happen in a modern facility. Maybe it was always naive to think that one case study could fix Stop. But if so, what then? What now? September 9th. They took his legs. As if stripping him of his name wasn't enough, they ripped his legs off his body. Why? I can't think of any good reason for this. Pal, Sunlight that he is, said that they plan to give him better ones. He even tried to prove it in spite of the pain. And the worst part of it is, it's not over. He hasn't graduated yet. The last time I tried to visit him, he'd been taken back in for further processing. I had to find out from Shiri, of all people. The guards barely seemed to care. Asking about his absence was like asking about the garbage being taken out of there. Someone else did the work, so they didn't need to know. They said all this was while looking at me with that expression they always wore on duty. One of Melody's. Of superiority. Of contempt. Funny how they pressed the kids to be smiling obedient, while the adults looked like bored children. When I entered the room, I noticed a distinct coldness in the air. Shiria looked awful. Had she been eating properly? She seemed so frail. If she was taken to the operating table now, her chances of survival. I had to leave Stop, and the YTDI has to go with me. I don't want this. Any of this to be my legacy. As if. What's an academic supposed to do against an intergovernmental organization with unlimited resources and an ever-growing supply of cybernetic muscle? Maybe I can follow Iris's example. This case report will be my indictment of Stop. My voice should still carry enough importance to damn it on the way out the door. But if I try to make an impact with my exit, instead of leaving quietly, what'll happen next? If I say anything about those cages the kids were kept in, the courts will burn me, and I'll have to hope that Stop doesn't signal me out extrajudicially. If they do, I'll have to kiss my future academic opportunities goodbye. But so what? They can't expect me to keep quiet after everything I've seen. That one conversation with Angie still makes my blood boil. We are observing a physical education class. The kids were told to run laps to the point of exhaustion, and knowing the YTDI, we probably were forced to run past that point, for research purposes. While the teachers were tending to them, Angie leaned over and whispered to me, "Look at how strong they are. Healthy and smart and tough as nails. Isn't it incredible?" Then she looked at the back ranks and scowled. There are still stragglers. Gotta iron out all the kinks eventually. After she said that, she turned back to me. You know, if that squadron were public school, some PSHE teacher would be coddling them. None of them would ever know how much they could achieve with just a little more pressure. With just one more push from someone who knows how much they can take. Back in school, I knew this kid. Born with a hole in my heart. Maybe some large ASD. They had it rough, but they persevered. Didn't pity themselves. Had pride. But the teachers insisted on coddling them, waiting on them hand and foot, carrying the books, giving them extra exam time, letting them skip exam. The adults around them let the condition define their life. By the time we graduated, I barely recognized them. Ended up more ghost than person. If I knew what I know now, I wouldn't let them fail themselves like that. Does she think we're still friends? I've been speaking to her less and less. By now she's basically talking to herself. And I hate seeing her inner ugliness rear its head. So Iris was right. As soon as Pavel is healthy enough to graduate, I'll make my move. But I'm not leaving Stop without him. I am absolutely appalled at the Youth Training and Development Initiative's decision to perform major amputation on trainee CO458. Improvements in synchronization rates are irrelevant. This technology was only ever intended for use in adults, save for rare exceptions. The relatively static state of an adult body allows for easier construction of prosthetics, and only a mentally mature individual can reasonably be expected to endure the inevitable side effects of cybernetic implantation. Let me be clear. Rejection symptoms are not a risk. They are an inevitability. Inevitability. That word. For all the advancements in biotech over the past few decades, there have not been enough to stop the body from revolting against artificial neurons when they are stitched to its muscles, or from realizing that the hunk of polyurethane and silicone in its skull is not a part of its gray matter. Medication can suppress the body's immune response and stave off seizures, but it is a patch, not a long-term solution. Despite these facts, CO458 is approved for a full transfemoral amputation and implant preparation procedure. I cannot conceive of a scenario that justifies the callous removal of two completely healthy limbs from a young child. The fact remains that CO458's quality of life has been significantly impacted for no reason beyond the YTDI's goals. If this is the level to which the YTDI is allowed to conduct itself, then it is clear to me that STOP has been little better than the organizations it's worked to quash. There is no theoretical threat or future crime that justifies what I witnessed. If this is what my research is now supporting, then I would rather have never pursued in the first place. I've got my 2 weeks notice lined up with Pavel's estimated graduation. The moment he's out of the system, I'm taking him and leaving. The smartest thing you've said in a while. Do you have any concerns? It's possible that they won't let him graduate. Promises for services rendered don't mean much to people who mutilate children. And if my case study is half as explosive as I'm hoping it to be, it's not the kind of thing that STOP will let circulate for long. There are plenty of people out there willing to listen to you. Not after I slandered internationally beloved crime-fighting organization. We don't have friends in PR or allies in the media. It'd be easy to paint me as another disgruntled former employee, disappointed for the lack of direction in your career, and looking for a book deal. Sorry, dear. I wish I could tell you that won't happen. But even if things do go shit on your end, allow me to give you a silver lining. When Pavel gets out, and he will, you can bring him here. Iris. Once upon a time, it was a garage. Then, it was an unrealized research lab with some living quarters. We can recognize that from the first game that we played today. Now it's yours. It's no 5-star hotel, but it's not too bad this time of year. There's even a river nearby. I don't know what to say. You're just giving that to me. What did you expect? I'm a wealthy woman with very few hobbies. I would have ended up renting it out if I even remembered it was there. Much better for you to get some use out of it. Thank you, Iris. I really mean it. I already owe you so much. Hey, the place isn't that big. I'll keep that in mind. You'd better. I don't want to hear any complaints about it being cramped down the line. Stay safe, teacher. I'll try.
Whoa, D. There's a fire drill going on?
What? Oh, no. I was just looking for Powell. I can't find him anywhere. Powell. Who's... Oh. CO458. It's okay. I'm certain he's around somewhere. I mean, it's very safe here. It's not like he could have just wandered off. Of course not. And yes, it is. Very safe. What? I'm not convinced that any of this is necessary. You're talking about processing. For starters. D, post-op is never going to look pretty. You know that. You've seen it thousands of times. On soldiers, volunteers, adults. You didn't see the places we pull those kids out of. Filthy, overcrowded, underfunded. This facility is very clean. And very well funded. That doesn't make it right. Whatever your justifications are, I'm not sure I appreciate your tone. We've been nothing but transparent with you from the beginning. We've given you complete access to our building or resources, even our subjects. I had to fight for you. Then why wasn't I notified about Pavel's processing? Maybe you weren't on the right mailing list. There are no conspiracies here. You of all people had to have known exactly what the initiative's goals are. Can't you? Look, I'm not in the mood to argue medical ethics with you in the goddamn hallway. CO458, 8's in recovery. He's fine. What? How?
This isn't some back alley surgeon for hire operation.
Uh-huh, sure. Sure it's not.
We know what we're doing.
Uh-huh, sure. Sure. I believe that. Yep.
Do you?
I want to slap Angie.
Awful? Are you?
Oh, God. Your head. Your eye. It's...
Dr. Deidre?
Oh. I've got you. Just stay right there. Has anybody been here to take care of you? Oh. Well. I think so. Shreya's been here at night a few times. Hasn't said much, though. I pretended to be asleep because I think she might be scared of me now. She's probably worried about you. I'll go and talk to her, okay? Okay. I really don't want to upset her. You don't have to worry about upsetting anyone, okay? You haven't done anything wrong. How are you feeling? I don't know. Tired and weird. It's alright. I'm scared. My graduation is soon. I'm scared. I don't know what's gonna happen. What else they'll do to me. Just close your eyes for me, okay? Pavel? Ah, he's asleep. There. They're gonna tear him apart. Rearrange him again and again. And not just him. All the other trainees here. All the other children yet to come. Over and over and over. And for what? This is my fault. My research laid the foundation for this. My reputation funded this. I let this happen. I did this. There has to be something I can do. No, I have to do something more than writing words on a goddamn page. That's it. I'll break him out. Prevent him from graduating. And burn this program down to the ground. At this point, this isn't even a call for justice. It's just plain cause and effect. I'm going to destroy my life. They'll have to update the textbooks. A small footnote at the bottom of the page or in the back of the index. Dr. DJ Destrange went on to commit multiple terrorist attacks. We in no way, shape, or form approve of blah blah blah. Fine by me, so long as they leave my name in. A curious kid might search for that crazy lady's name on the internet. Find a case report written by her and give it a read. Better a pariah who speaks the truth than a diligent researcher who can't stand to look at it. As I walk through the YTDI's halls, my stomach drops whenever I pass the spots I'll take. Though the guards just stand around and glower at the kids, they're still combat-ready professionals. More than a match for little old me. If they ever catch on to my plans, they could drop me before I even enter the building. Funny. I haven't feared others being able to hear my thoughts since I was in college. I remember feeling guilty when I learned about thermal runaway in lithium batteries. When I realized how easily this knowledge could be applied, I was convinced that there was something wrong with me. Maybe I was right back then. Compared to my usual work, making bombs is yet simple. I spent most of my time planning how I'd space out the fertilizer purchases. Looking back on it, smuggling Pavel snacks made for a fine trial run. I have fire proof that the guards won't check me. So why am I still so anxious? It is not. If it's not my legacy, and it's not the process itself, am I afraid of what will happen to Pavel after this? I can house him thanks to others. I have money. I can cook. But there's still so much I don't know about Pavel. How will I care for his medical needs? How will I educate him? Will freeing him doom him to a life in hiding? And Shiryu. And the other children. And every other poor soul that has been victimized by this program. Where will they go once I'm gone? Even if I could house them all, they wouldn't be free to leave. Not with stop on their tail. I'd have to just move them from a spacious cell to a cramped one. A cramped one next to a river. Still. I'd never forgive myself if I left Pavel behind. My research led to him getting hurt. I won't let that happen again. I've done all the planning I can. For now, I think a eulogy to a life of service. To my colleagues, the good ones. I hope you've been working from home. To the rest. You've got no right to complain about what comes next. And to stop, this is war. Plant any more seeds, and I'll salt you. Met with CO458 today. Engaged in a normal conversation, activities, subject. CO458's became tired shortly into the session, so the visit was cut short after about an hour. CO458's temperature and blood pressure appeared to be higher than normal levels during the visit, recommending an increase in immunosuppressant dosage. Recovery otherwise appears to be on pace with expected timeline. Let's see what Iris has to say. Do you think I'm doing the right thing? I'm not trying to hurt you. I just want to get Pavel. Aren't you doing precisely that? Yes. But there's a growing list of asterisks. I can't save the other children, the numbers just don't work. And how does that make you feel? Like garbage. Where will they go? They know nothing about the real world. Kids are tougher than you think. Not tougher than Stalin. You'd be surprised, they'll adapt. That doesn't make me feel any better. I doubt anything could... What about a confession? I wanted all this. The recognition. The respect. The budgets. The pay. You know, before I came to Stop, I took 5 internships in one summer. Barely got my foot out the door before I added them to my CV and never looked back. And we all do. That's the game we play. I liked playing that game. I was good at it. And there's a sizable, cowardly portion of me that doesn't want to give up. And do you worry about Dr. Tannerist? Despite myself, yes. That's just the kind of person you are. In case we don't get the chance to reconnect for a while, let me say this. Every system falls apart eventually. It's entropy. Forest fires are natural and healthy. Stop is no exception. If people are horrified by your findings and your methods, that's for the best. They'll quit. They'll leave in droves. And you'll have gotten them out of a dark hole. And if I hurt people, then you'll just have to make up for it. And the kids, they'll be strong. Even if their new lives aren't cushy or clean, there'll be lives that they choose for themselves. Again, that's not reassuring. I know. Very little is right now. You have a lot to answer for, Dean. You are already a history maker. From here on, I'm sure you'll be making history in a good way. Try to remember that when you eat breakfast with Pavel. Then. Is this goodbye? It has to be. But you'll be in my home, I'll be there in some way. In fact, the sheets might still smell like me. Iris, gross. Apologies, couldn't help myself. But you don't need me anymore. You'll do good. You always have. Thank you. Take care now. You are always my star pupil, Deidre. I trust you'll remember me as your mentor and friend. Hopefully when you're retired and peacefully bird watching, goodbye. I'll miss you, Dr. Fly. September 9th. We're still on September 9th?
Hello, Pavel.
Good afternoon, Dr. Daedra.
It's feeling alright? It'd take a lot more than this, too. It's okay. You can be honest. Did your graduate training not go well? It was scary. Scary and confusing. Could you tell me what happened? What the training was like? Where they've been running tests on the chip they put on my head. When it turns on, it's like my brain squeezed into a box. Or a minecart. It can only go on the tracks. That does sound scary. I had to do all these stupid reflex exercises. And after that, they made me solve math problems and other dumb stuff. All they looked at me over clipboards and data pads. So far, I've been doing good. I was doing everything they wanted, even when it felt like somebody was looking over my shoulder. Only that the shoulder wasn't there, and that somebody wasn't me, and somebody else was moving my body, speaking for me like it wasn't my body anymore. I was just so scared. It was gross and strange, and deep breaths, Pavel, and I just couldn't take it anymore. Did something bad. I was upset. I couldn't help it. I couldn't. Pavel? Pavel. Wait. I got you, Pavel. Got you. You're safe. I'm gonna call emergency services right now. Be okay. I promise. Shit. He's on his side, there's nothing in his way, and I've set a timer for 5 minutes. I've done everything I can. But why isn't the emergency call button working? They worked for another trainee. I've seen it before. The maintenance team's always checking. If there's something wrong with his... No. They wouldn't. They wouldn't dare. Dr.
Pavel? It's okay, Pavel. It's okay. I'm here.
You had a seizure. You're safe, and I've cleaned you up. It's okay.
Why? Why did they do this to me? Why? It hurts. They want to hurt me. They want to punish me, don't they? It's because I'm broken. That's why they want to fix me to be like the other kids.
Yep, this is hitting a spot.
I can't stay alive, and I never will. They're gonna keep taking me apart until I break.
I'm relating to Pavel a lot.
Apart piece by piece like this forever.
Pavel, you have to calm down for me, alright? You're gonna make yourself sick.
But
It'll be okay. It's over now. I'll make sure they won't hurt you anymore. I mean it. Okay. I give Pavel a glass of water to sip. His hands are shaking, so I hold the water. After that, I help him to bed. Tuck him in and wish him good night. Stroke the little amount of hair left on his head. Then I close the door behind me and walk out. The door behind me clicks shut. I don't have the words to describe what I just witnessed, but I don't need a 10-page paper to sum up what I feel. Disgust. They took away his medication. His medication. How in any world is that justifiable as a punishment? He could have died. Pavel gets hammered down because he sticks out, but any kid would do the same. If he's suffering like this, there's no doubt other trainees are. I need to talk to Angie. Now. I can't believe she's overlooked this for so long. Before I leave for good, I need to look her into her eyes and try to make her see. Just push Angie off the cliff. Find Angie at the bridge, gazing at the foot. She looks just like she did the first day I came here. She hasn't changed at all. As I approach, she turns to give me an unreadable look. For a moment, I barely recognize her. For a moment. Part of me wants to believe she's someone else
I
entirely.
imagine you're here to talk about C0458.
I pause. That was unusually direct of her. What do you mean? It's the 21st century, D. We've got cameras and everything. I suddenly remember her gazing up the corner of the room. Right. You were watching that whole time. So you saw how I called for help. You saw him go into a seizure because he wasn't given his medication. You don't know that. A lot of the trainees hate taking it. They'll put it under the tongue. That's bullshit and you know it. These are your precious test subjects. Invaluable troves of medical data. If you wanted to, you could get a doctor to any room in this building in seconds. What are you suggesting? It's not a suggestion. You're punishing him for what happened during his graduate training. There's a long silence. The tension in the air twists my stomach in knots. She's choosing her next words very carefully, tasting them in her mouth, rolling them around like a boiled sweet. Nostalgia laps at me for a moment, a warm pool at the back of my mind. She used to do this before research presentations, worrying that the inside of her cheek as she weighed my feedback. Maybe you're right. Push her off the cliff. It doesn't matter, D. She doesn't look back. Excuse me? Does what happened to CO458 matter? Yes, it does. Once he passes the graduate training, he's got a stable career set out ahead of him. If he even makes it, he won't want for food, housing, or else. Can't believe what I'm getting. In exchange for his legs, his brain, his individuality.
What are you, a teenager? Everyone's gotta grow up sometime.
Deidre, if you don't smack her, I'm going to. Right down my tongue. As much as I want to, cursing her won't get me anywhere.
What's happening isn't complicated, D. You've gotten too attached to your subject of research. You've lost sight of your objectivity. That's all. Happens to the best of us sometimes. Even you.
She's turned back to look at me, but she isn't seeing me. She's done talking. The feeling's mutual. Earlier in the day, I'd printed out my case study. I intended to go through it with a red pen that night. I fed it to the shredder, page by page. Months of work gone in months. It was the best I'd felt in ages. October 1st. In a matter of minutes, I'm going to burn down my entire career. Maybe it's fitting that the planning reminded me of how I designed my first cybernetic hand, linking each step to the next like titanium phalanges. While I filed documents, I studied the blind spots in the security. I learned where patrols didn't visit as often, and where security cameras didn't cover the whole room. I participated in fire drills to search evacuation routes, so that I could avoid them. Fighting back against the YTDI's electronic security is almost easier. Stopping rebels and terrorists back in Stop's heyday had given me a healthy perspective on tech security. DNA signatures, like the ones attached to our keycards, could be spoofed. An electrical lock was useless once you cut its power. As I went through every step, I expected someone to stop me. A guard who'd catch me leaving the package in the dark corner. Or a lab tech who'd find the files I was taking out suspicious. And no one noticed. Even when I slipped into the security room to inject a virus into their systems. I told the staff I was doing an inspection. They looked the other way. Maybe they live hand-to-mouth lives. Maybe they hate the YTDI as much as I do, and want to see it burn to the ground. Whatever the truth is, I'm not interested in psychoanalyzing. Analyzing. There we go. Words. Lower level staff. I have one job, and I tend to see it through. Getting to Pavel will be simple. I'll enter his room through the small door in the back. No one will suspect me. They'll think I'm conducting another checkup. Just another inane interview to pad out my case study. Escaping will be a much more complicated task. Security cameras are disabled. Safety alarms wired. And the escape routes plotted. If things go pear-shaped, there's the pyrotechnics I set up ahead of time. But once I trigger the siren, I can't predict who or what. My heart's pounding feverishly. My brain swirling with phases and countermeasures and backups. I'm painfully aware of every step and every breath I take, because once I open the dorm room door, there's no going back. I still have a way out. I can leave this behind and go back to my old life. Cut ties that stop quickly, retire quietly to a bucolic existence of honors and accolades to my name, bury my regret and rage in the back of a well-tended flower bed. But if I don't open this door, Pavel will continue suffering. He might not survive graduation. Even if he does, he'll become a nameless drool. A shell of a person marching through life, armed with clockwork thoughts and plastic smile. I can't abandon him. Not to that. Pavel. I'm gonna come closer, okay? Thank you, DJ. Now listen to me very carefully. I want to give you something. Oh. Wait, is it another snack? It's better.
Pavel, do you want control?
Control over what? The future. I've never really thought about my future. Would you like to? You can take your time. I understand that I'm asking. Yeah.
I do, Dr. Deidre. I want control.
Then take the switch and press this button. As soon as you do, you'll be free.
Let's go.
I take Pavel by the hand and gently guide him out. As his legs clack against the tiles, he walks. Do you need help? I ask quietly. We have a lot of ground to cover, and every second's crucial. But if he's in pain, it's okay. It clearly takes him some effort, but he grins up at me. What better way to get used to these legs than a prison break? Despite everything, I chuckle. In between the pulses of the siren, I can hear the hurried footsteps of the staff, trainees rushing down the hallway. Take his hand, and we walk through the door I came through. Neither of us look back. The back hall of the dormitory is empty. The alarm lights in the walls blink and I get red as confused personnel jog past us on the way to the emergency stairwell. We walk at first. I try to keep my hammering heart under control around the hall. We're still too visible. I can't help but imagine a security officer behind every door we pass. I squeeze Pavel's hand tighter, and he squeezes it back. His steps are shaky. They shouldn't be. Those idiots in processing couldn't even be bothered to calibrate the motors right. But he's stable. And in spite of everything he's been through, he's keeping pace with me. Then I see it. An imposing door with a small blinking key reader beside it. An exit out of the dormitories. Past it, there lay the operating facilities and engineering. Beyond that, the shipping and receiving bay. And further still, the garage door. Our way out. Normally, this part of the facility would be swarming with initiative personnel. But with the alarms I triggered, all of them should have evacuated to the opposite side of the door. I don't even swipe my card. The latch clicks open when I push it. Suddenly, my steps are faster. My heartbeat louder. And before I know it, I'm running. Pavel shifts on the first step and we nearly crash into each other before he corrects himself. But we run, hand in hand, past the office open shutters until, without warning, Pavel's legs buckle. They crumble under him like wet paper, sending him sprawling. I fall to my knees beside him, struggle to pull him upright. What's happening? Pavel asks. I can't answer him. My eyes go to his legs. The light's still on. The battery hasn't run out. But they're not responding to him. I can see him trying to move what's left of his legs, and the cybernetics just won't react. My eyes stop, fall on the stop loop. I look up at the shutter we just passed, and the security camera blinking beside it. Shit. Dr. Deidre. I almost wanted to laugh, even as my mounting panic threatens over. Anti-theft measures. They don't want anyone taking stopped property outside the building. I can hear yelling echoing down the hallways we came through, distant but growing louder. They know where we are. What should we do? Pavel asks, his voice wavering. Dr. Deidre, I don't want them to find us. Sit still. Quickly, I move to detach his legs. I leave them on the ground, sweep him up in my arms and into my arms and fold. He clings to me. His fingernails digging into my back through my clothes. His left arm dangles out of my grasp. He's light. Far lighter than he should be. As I run for the exit, I squeeze him as close to me as I can. The security shutter slams shut. I turn to pivot, but more come down over every door in the hallway, falling into place as heavy as tombstones. Damn it. Damn it. I bite back and scream. They found me. I can hear them getting closer. Security's at my back. I can hear them getting closer. Combat boots on tile, heavy and hurried. With every second I sit there panicked and paralyzed, they stomp closer to us. I squeeze my eyes shut. I can feel cold steel gun barrels at my back. Cuffs. Bindings. Straitjackets. Pavel ripped away from my arms. Disposed of as defect goods. Reprogrammed into a ideal product. I can't bear that thought. I reach into my lab coat, pull out a second switch, and press it. The explosions rip through the hall with a force unlike anything I've ever felt before. They tear through the shutter, blasting me with heat and smoke and debris nicks my cheek. I run right into it as more and more explosions go off. Through the facility, my hidden bombs rolling off like exothermic dominoes. A burst of red and blinding heat sears me inside, probably scattering shrapnel. I push through the pain, running as fast as I can. My ears ringing, my muscles scream, my throat stings. All that there is heat and ash and pain. Until, finally. We reach the light. That, well, I can't believe I actually made it. Now, I think we're... Pavel? Pavel. Oh, look. Your arm. It's all...
Pavel, please. Speak to me.
Blue.
What?
The sky. It's so blue.
I haven't seen it in so long.
You're hurting. Please don't push yourself. You're already bleeding so much.
But I'll live. I'm no longer there. I'm free now.
Yes. Yes. You are.
Aww. Well done, Team MalViolence. Well done.